So everybody, welcome. We are. I know we said we were going to be on a break for 6 weeks, and we decided to end that break because we can. We don't get paid for this, so we
got that power.
Yeah, we can do whatever the fuck we want with it. So we were excited because former Tri-City American captain Beau McCue is in town for the summer, and he's hanging out with us today. How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here, bro. It's been a while. You're looking good, looking healthy.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Trying to stay in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, yeah, I hear you, man. I'll send you.
I clearly am not. I have done like 0 gym. I've done like 2 Badger Mountain climbs, and it's been my summer.
I've got CrossFit tonight at 6, so that always kicks my ass. But so, what have you been up to? I don't know how much you can share, how much you can talk about, but I just wanted to catch up with you for a few. And
yeah. I played. 3 years ago was my last year with the Americans, so the last 3 years I've been playing up at University of Prince Edward Island. Been studying engineering there and playing for the hockey team. So it's been a grind, it's been a battle, but it's been a great learning experience for me. I feel like I've developed pretty well up there and been able to learn a lot of things, and playing against some of these guys are coming out of college that I've been playing against, and they're getting one-way AHL deals, and they're going on to bigger and better things with pro. So it's been a really good experience for me, and I've been learning a lot. So
nice. Are you taking a different route, or?
Yeah, this year I've decided to pursue professional hockey. I still have minimum 2 years on my degree, and the basis of this decision was that the balance of hockey and school with engineering was going to kind of take a turn more towards school, which is okay for some people. I really, really liked engineering, and I obviously love hockey. But when you're doing both at the same time, you can't find the enjoyment in it as much. And, with everything going on, it's tough to stay up on sleep and everything, which is fine. I'm not, afraid of working hard and getting that done. But if you're not finding enjoyment in it and you're not happy, I think that you need to find something that you're going to be happy with. Life's too short to, go through things that you're not enjoying when you have an option to do something else. So hockey is what I'm going to focus on now, and, school will be there when I'm done. School's not going anywhere.
Right.
I think it's the best choice too. Like definitely do something that you want to do. If that's what your heart's going to be, like, go for it. Like, absolutely. Like, and that's what you want to do, and that's what you're doing right now. So that's great.
Yeah, for sure. I got a story I got to tell about you, and we already talked about the Flyers thing. The first time I ever really talked to this guy, I was filming something for the team, and I had a Flyers hat on, and he was like, "Hey, I like your hat, man." I looked at him, I said, "Don't fuck with me, dude," because nobody around here is Flyers fans. So that was pretty funny. I'm gonna tell a story, and are you an emotional guy? Can you get?
I can be.
Okay, yeah. So I'm hoping not to choke you up on this. I don't think it will, but it's my fondest memory of you was your last season. I believe it was a night or two before the end of the season. You guys played Seattle. I think you're going to know the game I'm talking about. It went to overtime. And I believe Carlo had the winner in overtime. And that was the one game that if you guys win, it keeps you in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
There was only one thing that couldn't happen that night, and it was Portland and Spokane or Everett. They couldn't go to overtime.
I think it was Spokane. Portland and Spokane was the game. Yeah.
And I was up in the press box with Vince Sapienza, and Vince and I knew that it went to overtime. And it was so hard to watch because the emotion you guys had on the ice when that game winner was scored. Yeah. Going to the locker room, I'm sure Mike right away told you guys at that point. But you, and this is what got me, because you were captain that year, nobody expected you guys to come out for the 3 stars. And you guys all came out for the 3 stars. Yeah. Nobody expected you guys to show up for autograph signings. And I remember walking down the tunnel, seeing you putting a smile on your face, even though it had to be one of the hardest emotional times. Yeah. And I just thought, that's a captain right there. And I thought that was so awesome.
Thank you.
I don't know if you remember the emotion of that night or...
Yeah, I remember it. It was, we knew what it was. I getting a little goosebumps here. we knew what needed to be done that night, and you know, the effort that came from the guys was
phenomenal,
tremendous. You know, I mean, it was that game. I didn't doubt that we were going to lose that game once we started playing, and I saw the effort that the boys were putting in, and you know, we got it done. And unfortunately, in a season like the WHL has, with 72 games at the time, you know, it seems like a lot, and it is a lot of games, but every single point counts. And we kind of preached that early on, but we didn't quite grasp it until later on. And then we all knew what had to happen, so as soon as we got to the locker room, we checked. You know, we were like, what happened? Are we in? As soon as we found out, the room just dead silent. And, you know, yeah, we had autographs, and one of the things that we always talked about in the locker room with autographs is no matter what happens on the ice, when we go and see the fans, kids, all that stuff, everything on the ice stays in the locker room or on the ice. You know, they came out, they showed their respect to us, and they supported us, and it's not fair for us to you know, come out with crappy attitudes or, you know, treat them badly. They didn't do anything.
Sure.
You know, in all honesty, it's on us. We didn't perform well enough through the season to make it, and that's not on them. They were there supporting us every night here, and so that was one of the things that we always made sure was a priority when we were meeting with the fans.
Yeah, which is awesome, because I mean, and what I specifically remember, you were walking just over the hump on the Zamboni entrance over there, and there was like 2 kids around you, and they were so excited. And I knew, I mean, being a fan of hockey, being around the team and all that stuff that year, I knew what was going on in your head. Not completely. I'm not saying that, you know, but I got the gist of it.
Yeah. The mood, the idea of what was going on. Yeah. Like,
exactly.
I mean, we feel it. We feel it. You know, like, I mean, a lot of the energy that is going on in the arena and everything that we feel from the benches and everything. Like, I mean, I sit in the video booth over there, and it's like, you know, we all feel it. We all get excited. We all get into it. Like, I'm glad I'm in a job now, because I was doing the stuff that your dad's doing now up in the referee box. Yeah. And you're not allowed to like cheer or react or whatever when the home team scores or whatever. Yeah. But I'm in a spot now where I can. So like I'll go nuts. You know, I'll definitely jump up out of my seat and yeah, it definitely, like, night in, night out. Like, you know, I'm here like every home game, and it doesn't change. And the energy that everybody brings is always contagious, and it's amazing. Contagious
in a negative way sometimes.
Yeah,
the fans drive us up the wall.
Happens.
Some of our we go on rants in some of these podcasts, man. It's just like quit blaming the refs, dude, for everything.
Yeah. I don't want to get started on that again.
No, I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh,
but I do that.
Insane.
I think that was my second season with the team. Yeah, because first year I was here, Hamo was captain that year, and then you were next year. But I remember it really hit me that night just how important the WHL in development in the Americans, and Bob runs a tight ship in a good way, and it makes it very professional. But the community is so important, and just seeing that night, it's like. I've always said, even though you guys are, 15, 16 up to 20, 21, it's cool to watch you guys grow into men. I mean, it's really what happens the whole time.
Yeah.
And it takes it to a different level. So
definitely.
I just wanted to share that because I don't think I've ever had a chance to really talk to you face to face about that before. That really stuck with me, and it was a really, really cool thing to watch.
Yeah, I remember the goal. I remember celebrating.
Yeah, it happened right here. Everybody was hugging right here in the corner.
Right there. I remember that. That was I mean, just that it was like a 15-minute of just crazy high excitement. Like, we did it, we did our job, and then just like a roller coaster just drops straight down.
Yeah.
You know, but one of the things is seeing the fans. It does kind of bring you back up a little bit. So they're excited, and even though it sucks for us, it does bring it back up a little bit.
Sure.
So that was a little silver lining there.
Yeah. And the sportsmanship's always there. We had that conversation with Parker about, you battle on the ice, but then there's so much camaraderie and everything after.
Yeah.
And I remember the following night, I believe you guys beat Spokane, and as soon as that final, if I can fucking speak today, that final buzz Good Lord, I feel like I've been drinking.
Final buzzer.
Final
Gotcha.
buzzer, that's
Gotcha.
what I'm getting at. I mean, everybody's hugging on the ice, man.
Yeah.
You know, Spokane and Tri-City, 2 rivals, and I remember, I think that was Bolsey a 20-year-old that year?
Yeah, it was Parker Bowles and Mackenzie Stewart and myself.
That's
we were
right.
We were the 320s.
That's right, and Bolsey
Yeah.
had been here the whole time, but I just remember
Yeah.
that camaraderie. I remember the last game this year, the regular season against Spokane, Jared Anderson Dolan and somebody else are standing in the tunnel watching
Yeah.
the award ceremony the whole time.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's like, I think that's
I
something
love
that that's something that people don't see sometimes, and I think it's really awesome. Like when we're doing like our award ceremonies and stuff, the other team will watch. They'll watch from the tunnel, and then what was the other thing?
Coin did the same thing up in Spokane.
Yeah, yeah.
the next
I mean, yeah. It's you're all kind of in the same boat in a way, and you want to see like your friends and whatnot succeed. So it's good to see that once in a while, you know,
Sure.
to just humanizing moments and stuff to show that it's not just, you know, not just about like, you know, the battles that are on the ice, but like, you know, the people that you're friends with that you come up with or that you play against. Like, you've played against a lot of your friends. You know how it goes. So, yeah, it's always nice to see because it's really humanizing, and it's really kind of changes your perspective a bit.
You remember at the end of the day, it's a game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's interesting to think, you know, some people don't even realize this, even playing in the dub, until, you know, maybe after the dub. You know, for me, I remember specifically playing Spokane a lot, obviously, and there's a guy, Riley Whittingham, who played for Spokane. And Riley Whittingham and I would battle. I mean, we would go at it. We did not like each other. And I played with him the last 3 years at UPEI. And, you know, great dude.
Sure.
There was no animosity between either of us as soon as we saw each other at UPI because, you know, maybe at the time when we were battling, you know, we didn't realize it, but because that's not your mindset when you're playing against someone.
Sure.
But, you know, played with him for 3 years, great guy, you know, still keep in touch.
That's awesome.
Throughout the summers and everything like that. So it's different, you know, playing with someone like that, but, you know, Witz is one of those guys where you're glad to have him on your team and not against. So
there's a lot of players I've seen come through here on other teams. Keegan Kolzar was one that I love following his career. He's, you know, seeing him in Vegas. Well, Chicago. They went all the way to the Calder Cup.
Yep.
And then, of course, Geeky and Bean win it with Charlotte. But no, I love those stories, man. I still think the handshake line is the coolest thing in sports, man. I love that sportsmanship.
Yeah.
And that's what we always try to preach to fans, man. It's like, come on, yeah, it's a battle on the ice, it's fun, but dude, it's still human beings. A lot of these guys grew up together. So
yeah.
Montana, right?
Yeah.
That's where you started. What was hockey like in Montana? I mean,
Montana hockey was so much fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know what the state of it is now.
Yeah.
I've been away. I moved away when I was 13, but growing up, I mean, there was like 6 to 7 teams, and it was the same kids year in and year out. And, I mean, you'd develop rivalries and stuff, and but, I mean, basically you just hop in a van with your buddies, and it's a 3-hour road trip to Bozeman, Montana from Missoula, and, you know, we had depending on what van I was in and who I was with, sometimes we'd have those old tiny little box TVs set up with an old PlayStation 1 and just held down by bungee cords, and we'd take the middle seats out in the van and we're just laying in the back playing, and the dads are up front talking, and but I mean, it was a ton of fun. And then you got the state teams where you start to meet players on the other teams and build friendships there, and you know, similar to Riley Whittingham and I, you know, I ended up playing against one of Great Falls team, played against one of their coach's son.
Okay.
And his name is Jordan Jernigan. And yeah, him and I hated each other. Now we're best friends. I still, to this day, talk to him at least once a week to, you know, a couple times a month.
You like getting under people's skin on the ice? Was that your style?
You know, the thing is I'm not good at chirping. Like, I'm...
we'll talk about that in a few.
Not, you know, I hear you guys have, like, a chirp of the day. I'm so bad, and, like, I know it, so...
You just like to hit.
I hit. I'm physical. I'm a physical player. I'll get in your face. I won't say much.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you ref. No, don't touch that.
Yeah.
So then, if you don't chirp a lot, then what was some of the best chirps you heard on the ice?
Oh my goodness, I've heard some good ones. You know, playing with Lucas Nichols and Justin Gutierrez was hilarious.
Forgot about those guys. Yes.
I lived with Lucas, and so Nix and I, he's one of my good buddies, and even still, just I hear stories that he tells me, and I'm just cracking up laughing. Listening to Goots chirp was like a comedy show.
Yeah.
I mean, there were times where he was literally barking like a dog from the bench. It was against Portland, I remember, and he's like, I think it was against Leipzig. Like Leipzig's just talking, like Brendan Leipzig was talking crap to Goots, and Goots just starts barking like a dog, and Leipzig, like, what are you supposed to say to that? And our bench is dying, and you look at the coaches, and they're like trying not to laugh, but then you got Goots just howling over here, and you're like, what are you doing?
Oh man, he was so much fun. Man, I forgot about Goots. That's crazy. I think Coiner, it still stuck with me what he said. Hey, when's your time with the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like I'm like, holy shit, that's brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Man.
Rimmer had that iconic one. The hot dog one.
Well, I sent that to him because he actually reached out a couple weeks later. He's like, hey, man, do you still have those chirps we were talking about? And the one we actually used as a soundbite on the show, I sent it to him.
Really?
And he was just rolling. But him and Dawson Butt were going at it. And he said, hey, man, go upstairs and get yourself a hot dog. Yeah, you're a fat fuck. It was just,
$1 hot dog night.
oh, man. It was great. I love it. That's one of the coolest things about being down on the bench and hanging out with you guys. It's like it's a whole nother world down there.
Oh, yeah.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
So, not a whole lot's happened in the last few days.
No, definitely not a free agency or anything.
Is the NHL still a thing anymore? Because I don't recognize any of the names and the jerseys going on anymore.
Somebody was talking about how the NBA just completely shifted around. And then the NHL did their thing. And I saw, who said it? I can't remember if it was like Spittin' Chicklets or what, but they posted a thing that said, it was Bar Down.
Okay.
It said the Rangers did what the Knicks couldn't in this free agency. They actually acquired someone worth of shit, so.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Panarin and... I kept hearing that Panarin and Bobrovsky were going to be a package deal.
I think that was more of a meme. But I think that was like... That wouldn't be a bad thing, but like...
Commodore. No, Mike Commodore said that. I saw him actually... Of course, not a lot of people take what Mike Commodore says anymore to heart, but...
Yeah, that guy.
It'd be tough for it. You'd be spending most of your budget on those two players alone if a team is going to try to get both of them.
You're talking 20%, or no, 25 to 30% of your salary on
for the next 5 years plus.
Yeah. What really stuck? What hits you guys hard? I mean, I'll get my emotion out of the way first because Bo and I are both Flyers fans. When I saw that Simmons went to Jersey, bile came up in the back of my throat.
So
man.
Vegas shipped guys out. And I'm a Vegas guy. I'm also a Wings guy. But, like, Vegas was shipping guys out. And I think they're doing that to make room for rookies.
Sure.
And I didn't like seeing Bill Murray go. Like, I like him.
Former Flyer.
Yeah. So, but Detroit, they got back Filppula.
Yeah, I saw that.
And,
former Flyer.
And I saw, the first time I saw the Red Wings play in Detroit, Filppula was there.
Okay.
And then, who else? They got Pickard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Calvin Pickard.
Calvin Pickard, right.
So, Pickard, it's fucking captain of the fucking Enterprise.
A lot of goalies moved around.
Yeah, a lot of goalie movements. I mean, I'm just, like, looking down the list right now, and it's like, God, there's just a goalie, like, in every line.
Mm-hmm. A lot of smaller deals on that end. But I think Dallas did real well for themselves.
Yeah,
Pavelski, and Corey Perry, and they picked up Sekera, Andre from Edmonton.
Oh yeah.
So they'll, they got Ben and Sagan up front.
Guys could be insane
And
I love that line.
Oh yeah.
By the way, that's like one of my favorite lines in hockey.
Yeah, and
I love Jamie Benn so much.
I mean, you look at their forwards now. It's gonna be if Corey Perry goes back to, he had a lull last year and even the year before, a little bit less productive, but even still, you go back a few years and Perry's putting up 60, 70 points. So maybe he just needed a little kickstart, and this could be it with Dallas. And if he does, then
that's what we were talking about Monday. It's just Beau and I were just in the skate shop on Monday, just not working and talking about the free agency. But you see a lot of these players, like, they just kind of have a lull in their career, and then once they get moved and they have a change of scenery, and that kind of reignites the fire. And I think we'll see that with a lot of these players that they got moved around. At least I hope, especially for guys like Corey Perry, because he was a threat on the ice. Like, he was definitely someone that any team that I enjoyed watching. Like, I hated watching him play the Ducks because Corey Perry's always, he's kind of a in your face kind of bug. He's just annoying, but he's like really, really talented, really good. And
him and Kessler and Getzlaff on that same team were just crazy.
Well, like back when the Wings were in the Western Conference, like that was one of the teams I hated. Watching them play against the most was just because of Corey Perry and Getzlaff, and it was just like you said, like I think a change of scenery will do him really well.
Well, Dallas, of course, was right on the cusp last year, so I mean, these could be the pieces.
Yeah, it could be, and I mean, we saw that Sagan and Ben got called out, throughout that year, and even though they got called out, Sagan was still like a point per game or something like that, or just under it.
He was still unreal.
But I mean, it's also Tyler Sagan, who's just unbelievable, and Jamie Benn, who's also unbelievable. But you put Pavelski and Perry in the line with one of them, and I mean, I'm looking at it now. You got 2013-14. Perry had 43 goals.
Wow.
So you get him back to something like that, or even 3 years ago, he still had 34. So.
You get him, 25 to 30 a night, and your top six is looking like one of the top six in the league.
Yeah.
Or one of the best top six in the league. So, were you guys surprised Montreal's little shenanigan with Sebastian Aho?
I thought it could have been risky. I think it was less risky because it was known that Carolina was going to match whatever offer, because I saw somewhere that they were like, any offer, we'll match it. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that they could have done is they could have waited, and then Montreal would have been, out of luck for a week. Yep. I think they had a week to answer, and if they had done that, then Montreal can't offer anyone else that money, because you can't sign two people for that amount of money with their cap. So, but it ended up, working out fine. I don't think Sebastian Aho will go anywhere. I think he likes it in Carolina. I think
they got a good culture there.
Yeah. Well, plus it it shows that Carolina wants him.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do, basically say flat out before any offers, we're matching anything. Mm-hmm. That shows that the team really wants you, and you want to be on a team that wants you like that.
You feel like maybe that Carolina got a good price on him because of that? Because like Montreal put it right at that like 8.45 cusp. Because if they would have gone even like $1,000 higher, it would have put him into that highest tier. Mm-hmm. So they kept it a little bit lower. Because I've heard some rumblings. People said, "Wow, that's a great deal for Sebastian Aho." I mean,
yeah, I heard the same. I heard that someone in Carolina's organization, I can't remember, GM, coach, whoever it was like, I'm surprised they didn't offer him more.
Right.
So
yeah.
I think it'll work out for them.
That was an exciting story last year. Growing up a couple hours away from there, it was cool to see them back to their glory days. So Panarin, Bobrovsky, we all kind of figured they were on their way out of Columbus. It wasn't surprising.
Columbus really kind of offloaded everyone.
They did. I mean, Duchesne, who else? There was like 4.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Columbus big names.
I'm just kind of looking. I'm looking through the list here.
Duchesne, Bobrovsky, Panarin. There was another one too.
Yeah.
Keith Kincaid.
That's who I was thinking of. Keith Kincaid. He's just a veteran guy. He's got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
They did lock down Ryan Murray, former Dub guy.
Who did he play with?
He played with Everett.
Okay.
Right? Everett.
Name kind of sounds familiar. It's funny with some of these. I've been around the team. This will be my 6th season, and just seeing some of the names come through. It was funny because Draisaitl was there like the first year. I was with the team. That was the year that Kelowna went on that amazing just bash through the playoffs. But I remember seeing Draisaitl. I was like, this kid will probably do something in the NHL, and now he's just tearing it up. But
yeah, I remember playing against him. It was my 20-year-old year. He played 30 games with Edmonton, and then comes back to the Dub.
Yep.
You know, it's
we'll burn a year off of him, and
play 36 some odd games in the NHL, and then go back to the Dub. You know, I talked to my buddy who played with him, and he played for Kelowna that year.
Yeah.
He's like, "What was it like?" He was like practice. Wow.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
I was just playing in the NHL, but I mean, I can't blame the guy. And now look at him; he's doing sick in the NHL, and
he's doing great.
Good for him. It was so hard to play against him when he was with Kelowna. Holy smokes, that was a strong team.
Him and I think Rourke Chartier that one year. The year they won the league. Those two were just crazy. What else? What other surprises? Because, I mean, a lot of big moves, but to me, not a shit ton of surprises.
Not a lot of, like, blockbuster,
A couple of those,
A lot of interesting stuff.
Bobrovsky going to Florida makes complete sense, especially with Luongo stepping away.
Yeah. I think one of the things that kind of surprised me was Jason Spezza going to Toronto.
That's right.
And it wasn't necessarily him going to Toronto. He's from Mississauga, so, that kind of makes sense going back towards his hometown. I don't know if he's planning on hanging him up soon or not, but the fact that he signed a 1-year deal for basically the league minimum.
That's kind of what you see, though, is if they think it's the end of their career, they're going to want to play where they want to play, where they want to play near their hometown, play near family or whatever. We saw that with Mike Modano, because he was a Detroit boy, and he played his final year in Detroit, and it was really cool to see. I got to see him play in a Wings sweater, awesome. So that was incredible.
That's right. That was kind of an end of the career sort of contract.
No, that was his last year. Yeah, and then he did like the one day contract with Dallas so that he could retire as a star, and rightfully so. I think that's wonderful. So, and then I think there's a lot of players that do that. They just kind of like, I think it's kind of towards the end, and nothing against the team that I've been playing with, but want to play at home. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So.
Just interesting to see, this guy who was making, like $7 million a year a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think he was making $4 million in Dallas anyway.
Wow.
And then just to go, so interesting to see, but again, could make sense to
little money to move him back home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I thought he was kind of I don't remember last year, but I thought he was a pretty good piece to that team. I mean, he was playing. Was he third or fourth line with them the last couple of years? I don't remember, but
I think he was more third line.
Yeah,
I mean, he was playing his role. He wasn't completely off the score sheets either. He still put up some points, but he definitely brings a lot of veteran experience to the team, which could help Toronto with all their young guys. They're gonna. Well, we're yet to see what happens with the Marner deal, but. You got Matthews there, and Kasperi Kapanen just signed with them again. So
Tyson Barrie's now there.
Yeah. So
that's an interesting move. Kadri, that was the one that kind of surprised. Well, kind of caught me off guard, but yet kind of didn't surprise me, because if I remember, didn't Kadri spend the last few games in the playoffs last year on suspension?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even finish out the series against Boston.
Yeah. I don't.
The guy, I didn't realize how much of a hothead that guy is.
I'm not a huge fan of him.
And I'm with you. It was just weird because my limited knowledge of the Leafs for the last few years, with them starting to get better, you heard Kadri, and he seemed like he was such an integral part of that team. But then you realize, he's kind of not a goon, but he's been suspended several times.
He's got a hard time keeping his shit under control.
Reminds me a lot of Marchand, man.
He does a lot of the cup checks and kind of jersey pulls. Yeah, and he gets away with it. Well, yeah, Marchand gets away with it. Kadri clearly hasn't, but Kadri's he's just kind of scummy.
Yeah. So I think Toronto won that trade, to be honest with you. I think Tyson Barrie's a really, really solid defenseman.
Yeah, I think he'll be a good addition to their team up there. So.
What was the other trade that happened here recently? I forget.
Bill.
That's
the
right.
Man Kessel.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Nice Guy is now in the desert.
Nice guy, tries hard, loves the game.
Yeah.
My spirit animal.
And they got Galchenyuk in return.
But somebody described Phil Kessel to me as the everyman, and I think that's wonderful. Like he's just a dude, man. Like, and he's really good at hockey, and I think he'll do fine. I think he'll do fine in Arizona.
I do too. Does anybody know like what the story is and why it got down to where they wanted to get rid of him? I mean, once again, to me, he was an integral part of that team.
Yeah, I have no idea what goes on with the inner workings, but...
Well, I mean, just so was there anything out there? Was there something I missed? Was it we're trying to dump
I think they're on the start of a rebuild.
Probably. They panicked. They haven't won a Stanley Cup in, 2 years, and they're in panic mode right now.
Yeah,
So.
like I didn't expect them to even make the playoffs, really.
Yeah.
And then did they get swept?
They got swept by the Islanders.
So I don't know. I see them kind of making some bigger moves coming up soon.
I mean, they got Alex Galchenyuk and is it Pierre all over Joseph?
That's true. Galchenyuk's solid.
Joseph actually, pretty sure he was playing with Charlottetown Islanders where I was going to school. I believe that's true.
That wasn't a name that rang a bell with me, but I mean, Galchenyuk's one of those too. I think if he finds the right fit, I still don't think he's found it yet. Not in Montreal, not in Arizona. Excuse me. If he can find the right fit, if it happens in Pittsburgh, then the guy can be a powerhouse. He's good.
Yeah, he was in Charlottetown. He got traded this last year, but I mean, I saw him play a few times, and I mean, he's just a solid D man. He's really calm with the puck. So
nice.
It could be good for Pittsburgh to get a young D-man like that in their system.
See, Pittsburgh has another Matt Murray in the system.
I know. I saw that. He's a goalie, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's same exact name, same position. Like,
I thought that was pretty funny.
They're going to have to give him fucked up nicknames or something to differentiate.
I think what we're seeing this year is a shift in the NHL. I felt for the longest time there was a lot of loyalty between players and management and stuff. And I think what's happening, in my opinion, is that you're really having a separation of those that want to be patient and those that just want to win now. And that's always happened, don't get me wrong. That's always been, are we going to sell everything off at trade deadline to get the teams to get over the hump this year or what? But you're seeing a lot of names that have just been staples in their places now.
Move.
See ya.
Yeah.
See ya. Pavelski to me is like he's been in the league for 13 years, but he's still got a lot left in the tank.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at somebody like Jumbo Joe in San Jose. That guy, what is he like? His birthday was yesterday. He's like 65
he's 40
now. Is that how old?
Yeah.
Is that how old he is? Is he getting an
You were setting up a joke and I fucked it up. I'm sorry.
It's fine. But I mean, why? And Pavelski was your captain.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I'm happy that Jumbo Joe's sticking around.
Yeah.
Because I think he's still got a lot left in the tank too. Like,
sure.
He's saying 5 years or so.
5 more is what he wants.
Yeah. So
He's
I think
Chelios numbers.
yeah, I know. That's what I was gonna say. Chelios or Yager or something. So, yeah, no, that's good. I get bummed out when I see a lot of the guys I grew up watching start to kind of fade away and retire, and Brett Hull get fat and drunk and
Oh my god!
no, seriously, when the Red Wings won the cup with Hull, when they had Hull and Hasek and there was an all-star team back then,
pre-salary cap era.
Yeah, they were just tossing money around like crazy. Brett Hull was one of my heroes, back in the day.
Yeah.
And then during the Stanley Cup run, I'm like, dude, holy shit!
Somebody get that guy under control.
Where are your parents?
For real. Oh no, Dad was behind him drinking too.
I know, right?
Yeah. It was.
How are you on time?
You're good.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I still saw the other day him Gloria.
Oh yeah, singing Gloria.
Oh my god.
Trying to.
How did you feel about that run? I don't know. You probably didn't hear the episode that we did where Oli Kolzig, his son, works over at Adventures Underground.
Okay.
And the other guy that we record with ran into Oli in the cafe there. And before the playoffs, he said, "Who's your pick?" And Oli said, "Caps in St. Louis." Caps for obvious reasons. He's like,
Yeah.
I think we have a solid chance. He's like, but St. Louis is doing something special right now.
Yeah.
And we were all like, huh? The Blues?
I was a little put off by it too. I was like, nah, they're not gonna make it that far. They were last place in January. Like something will crumble.
It's cool to see. I mean, it's I kind of was hoping to see Vegas go just because of. I mean, last year they were so close.
God,
and
man.
awesome. But
I was in Montana watching one of the games too with my mom, and we were just like, I think it was one of the ones where they got blown out. And we were just like went back to my mom's house just all sad and dejected, and like it was, oh man, that was a rough series to watch, but it was really cool. It was a really cool experience, and I wanted to see Vegas go too. Like that was my pick.
I thought they had a good shot at it.
Flower had a stellar year. Like he had a lot of shutouts, and he still got it. He still got it, and
they're gonna. I think they had the team to do it again. I think they could have.
Absolutely.
Just they weren't consistent enough in that series. It wasn't like it was a 1-goal game every time. There were some blowouts, which means you just had an off night. And in playoffs, having an off night is a big deal.
Sure.
And then obviously it came down to that 5-minute major.
I still cringe at that. I still like. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, we at a point, yes, it did cost them the series, and the NHL apologized. And to have the NHL apologize,
that was
takes
different.
A lot.
That's a big deal.
Different.
Yeah,
like that was huge.
Yeah, because I mean, any way you look at it, that's not anyone who knows the positions in the play of a face-off knows that that's not a 5-minute major. I mean, you got the winger coming up through. I can't remember who it was, but he's just trying to get to his D. It wasn't an intentional, I'm going to go and just knock this guy out.
Right.
So it's an unfortunate mistake, and even Pavelski was like, yeah, that wasn't a 5-minute, but I'll take it. But,
well, and the guy that went down, it was just, the way he hit the ice, it was just a perfect
Yeah. No,
perfect
and that's the thing, too, is I don't necessarily blame the refs on that, because with the chaos that happened in that face-off and the blood on the ice, like, they had to call something.
Yeah.
By the rules, like if there's blood on the ice, you gotta call something.
Yeah.
So it was
unfortunate.
Yeah, very very unfortunate. And like I'm still just kind of like I think about it like before you mentioned it, I was like, fuck that 5-minute. Like I was just in my head, I was just like, I hated that. I hated it.
But round 2, that was our chirp of the week when San Jose tweeted, "Oh look, it turns out you can kill off 4 minutes of penalty time," because they had a double minor in the second round, and I was like, oh
yeah, no, it also falls on Vegas because they definitely like
allow 4 goals.
Yeah,
I mean, I do understand because when you get the momentum on a power play like that, it can carry, but at the same time, it's Game 7. You gotta be and it's easy for me to sit here and say this. I've been in the game where you see the team get momentum, and I've been the team that gets momentum. And when you get momentum, good luck trying to stop it. But at the same time, you got to do. And I'm not saying that they didn't do everything that they possibly could. It just,
it got chaotic.
It's hard to sit here and say, oh well, they should have just done this, this, and this. And but at the end of the day, it was Game 7. It wasn't a 1-game series, which is what I love about the NHL playoffs. You have a chance to come back always.
Sure.
So it is what it is. And once that happened, I was like, yeah, you know what? I like the Blues. I like this story.
See, now my thing was.
Actually, I went for Colorado right after because they beat San Jose, or I wanted them to beat San Jose.
I had a weird like emotional run with the playoffs. I didn't really discuss it in earlier episodes, but like after Vegas got knocked out, I was just kind of like, man. I don't want to watch anything.
Sure.
Like, I didn't watch anything.
You talked about that a little bit. You're just like, I haven't really.
I didn't watch anything in the second round. But like I told myself, if Vegas gets knocked out, I might go for San Jose because I really like San Jose. Vegas and San Jose, they actually like work really well together on like social media and just being a part of hockey in an area where it was considered a non-traditional market. Which, by the way, I'm not going to say there is such thing as a non-traditional market anymore. Like that's bullshit.
Right.
People are always like, "Oh, I put a team in Vegas. It's not a traditional hockey." But fuck that. Like, we have clearly seen teams in California, Arizona, Texas, Florida, like thrive.
Yeah. It brings awareness to hockey. If anything, it creates more fans.
Yeah.
Then
For sure.
They're just not. There's not a lot of fans there, so they're not going to do well. Not necessarily. I
Not
mean,
true.
most times, the majority of times, they're going to build a fan base and then expand the game of hockey, which is awesome. I think it's awesome.
I think Vegas will thrive for a very, very long time.
Oh,
yeah, this is not a one. This is not 2 years of luck for them. This is whoever their marketing people and all that were geniuses with this.
They've done everything right.
They have.
Seattle should be paying attention.
Oh, and Seattle has been paying attention.
Of course.
You know they have.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, did you see where they just announced their AHL team?
Yeah, Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, California.
Yeah.
That's an easy sell to get someone to come into your organization.
Yep.
Hey, come into our organization, sign a deal. If you play in the minors, you're in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
It's not like, oh, we're going to send you to somewhere way up north where it's, you know, you're going to see the
Utica.
sun for, you know,
Yeah. The other
Winter.
Boise was the other option, which I mean, Boise's a cool town, but it's like it's still rough.
It's not Palm
winters.
Springs.
But
It's not Palm
I've actually
Springs.
heard a lot of good things about the board, like the
Steelheads?
Steelheads that's
Yeah.
right now
Steelheads, yeah.
in the ECHL.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of good things about that organization.
They have a
I heard-
good group.
Yeah, I heard that the players really like playing there, and which is good. That's what you want to hear with there's some noise going on.
Sorry, we're in the arena right now where it's renovation time, so whatever.
A lot going on. That doesn't look like a new scoreboard putting up there.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that now. I forgot.
Can we?
That's, yeah, it's.
I just kind of threw it out there, like,
Tri-City Herald put that out, so all you fans, Americans fans, there's $4 million some odd dollars going into new boards this year. So
Video boards?
Yeah.
Nice.
the one same ones Gonzaga University has.
Okay.
So it'll be a pretty nice setup. Which is
You'll
nice
be
for
able
us
to-
video guys that can actually.
Yeah.
It'll be even
Showcase.
bigger Find the Puck challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this year it's going to be Zamboni races.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're getting rid of the Find the Puck challenge?
Yeah. Oh, maybe I shouldn't talk about that, but
Whoops.
I created those last year, and then I got sick, and they just kind of went away
Oh,
for a
really?
while.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Zamboni
that was
race?
when I almost died. Yeah, the Zamboni races. I
Yeah.
created them. And
That's
then
cool.
They didn't get used, so.
I'm excited. As a video guy, I'm excited for the
gonna
new
be fun.
boards. So
It's going to be fun. I forget what I was going to say now. My mind just completely went blank. Whoever's drilling down there, thank you very much. Anything else? What did we miss in free agency? Anything? Nothing really. There's just a lot of shifting this year.
Yeah.
Like, gonna be a-
One thing that kind of surprised me was the signing of Carlson in San Jose again for that long. I expected him to go back to Canada.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had heard things that his wife and his family wanted to go back to Ottawa or by Ottawa. So I had heard that he was in talks with Ottawa and with Montreal.
Oh wow.
So for him to sign a long deal in San Jose kind of surprised me, but you know, good for him. Him and Jimbo
Sure.
Joe will be tearing it up next year.
yeah,
Brent Burns and
you can't hate that guy either. Like,
they'll be-
Carlson.
yeah,
No way.
you just can't. Like,
Yeah.
he's such a class act.
I think they're going to build with them getting rid of some of those pieces, I think they're going to start building a team around him since he's there. I think it was like an 8-year deal or something like that. So,
I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised it was that long.
Yeah.
I really
He'll
was.
finish his career in San Jose.
Yep.
Most likely.
I could
So-
see him signing like one of those small contracts that we talked about earlier with Ottawa at the end, but
Yeah.
just to go back home.
Yeah. San Jose is another one of those. I really respect that organization.
Yeah, yeah. I got a little love for San Jose.
Speaking of that, I mean, I'm a big, obviously we're AMs, we're home fans here and all that stuff. But I look at some of the other organizations around the league. I look at a team like Everett. I love what Everett does. Like their
got a good
culture
fan base.
there,
Yeah.
their fan base. Where did you find it hard to play? Where were places you went into and you guys just shook your head like, fuck, no, I don't want to be here.
I don't know if it was ever that bad. I know that there were places that were rough. Playing in Seattle was always tough. Their fans were ruthless.
And I've seen you play when I was living in Tacoma.
Yeah.
And I would go to T-Birds games.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd seen you play several times, and I'm just like, man, I'm not getting involved in this chant. I wasn't part of this, like,
Yeah.
because
That bad, huh?
it was, it was
we
bad.
we had popcorn thrown over the glass one time onto our bench, and because the glass behind the visiting bench wasn't very tall, and so like one guy like threw popcorn over drinks once. It was, and one guy was like yelling through the crack almost the entire second period at one point at one of the games. So they were pretty loud and vocal about it. So if I had to say anywhere, I would say Seattle's Seattle, they were ruthless. But
let's just call them Kent. It's fine. They're in dumpy little Kent.
But I mean, that's if you play for Seattle, you probably love it.
Sure. Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, I heard people hated coming here, but I love playing here. You know, it was loud. It wasn't the biggest arena, but if you pack this place out with 4,000 plus fans, it doesn't even have to be full. Mm-mm. It'll be loud.
There's been nights we've been like 25 to 3,000 strong, and you know, quiet night or something, and we had like a killer comeback or something, and the place was, you know, about to shake loose.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
Loudest thing I've ever heard was in this building. I got called up. I was 16, and I got called up, and it was when Brendan Shinneman, Adam Huseman, Mason Wogosh, Patrick Holland, they were all here, and they were in. I think it was. I don't know if it was I think it was Game 7 against Spokane. Here they were tied, and Shinneman skates in, crosses the blue line, and takes a left and just rips it, and like bar down, and I mean, I'm maybe like 4 feet from you. I could be screaming at you and you would not hear me.
I've heard that story.
It was so loud in here.
Glass is just looking like it's gonna break off.
It was amazing.
God, man,
and that just pumped me up to play here the next year. I didn't play that year. You know, I got called up. I ended up being here for like 2-3 months. I actually stayed afterwards, but you know, I was so excited to come back and get started here. I was like,
awesome.
This place is awesome, and it was. I loved playing here.
Yeah,
we've definitely got a pretty unique culture. I've been to a lot of the other arenas, you know, as far as like being a fan and watching goes. I've been to Spokane, I've been to Everett and Kelowna, and like everybody's got their own unique thing. You know, they've got their own unique chants and whatnot. But I think we've got a pretty cool thing here. Despite the stuff that we, you know, gripe about and get on our soapboxes about, I think definitely it's special to have a team out, you know, in the middle of the desert, Washington, and just kind of have the little like tight knit community that we have here. You know, every game I'm here at. Every game, like it's, you know, like not even people that I work with. I just go down the concourse and I'll run into like 10 people I know, you know, that I play hockey with or that I work with somewhere else or go to school with, like, and it's really cool to see like all the familiar faces every year. And it's like us just talking about it right now. I'm just like, man, is it fucking time? Is it time yet? Shit.
Yeah. We got to wait even longer.
I'm ready.
Opening night's not till October.
God, I know. It's like I saw that and I was like, we're not going to have a game here until after the NHL season starts. It's really weird.
Yeah. Kind of a crazy schedule.
But
they lessened the games. Since I played, it was 72 when I played.
Yep, it took 4, and actually this year it looks like they extended the actual end date out because our last game is like March 21st, which is late. Usually you're already into like the first week of the playoffs at that point. So
that's interesting.
Man, this has been fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
We can grab one too.
Oh man, how do I get all this in here? There we go.
Cool.
All right.
Sorry, we were just taking a selfie. Hey, can you take a selfie of me, man?
For the socials.
Wait,
for the gram.
A selfie of you. So, you two guys got skate sharpening and Zambonis to go drive. But, well, we're going to keep an eye out, see what's going on with you, man, because I think that's really cool what you're doing.
Thank you.
Going pro. And do you have any leads you can talk about with that? Or
I have leads. I'm going to kind of
working with the agent and all that stuff
right now,
that's
just because nothing's come out yet, and
sure.
I haven't agreed to anything. So, yeah, I definitely have leads, and it's very exciting.
Cool.
You know, I know that I'm gonna have to start low and claw and scratch my way up, but you know, I've already started training, and it's I'm very excited. So
cool. I'm excited to see where it takes you, man. You guys keep an ear out for the name Beau McCue. Your work ethic, it will follow you, and you'll do some cool stuff, man. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
Anything you want to close with? Any words of knowledge?
Oh man, did we even
Letterkenny? Have you seen that at all on YouTube now? They have actually an animated version of the Letterkenny boys. Are you a Letterkenny fan?
Yeah, I watched all of them. I played with both Playfair brothers.
Oh, that's right.
And I played against Jackson the last 3 years. So
that's awesome.
You know, I've met all of them. I actually played with Austin Playfair down in Phoenix before I came up here.
Oh, really?
That's right, because you went to Coyotes camp.
Yeah. Well, okay. I played for the Phoenix Junior Coyotes before I came up here.
Okay.
So I played with Austin. I've known Austin for 8 years now.
Wow.
8 years. So yeah, I'd met his brother. He was off doing acting stuff, so I only saw him a couple times. But it's cool to see, you know.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Good for him.
The first time I saw the show, I'm like, that guy, he looks. His last name's Playfair. He looks familiar. Okay. Oh, okay. That all makes sense.
So, I think I've told this story before, but like I'm gonna say it again. When I first started working here, the first year I was here, I knew he played here, and I knew who his brother was. And when the season had started, he was injured, and so the Ams went on their long road trip out east, and it was like 3 or 4 guys that were here. Just shooting pucks while they were gone, just kind of trying to work through their injuries, and Playfair was one of them, and he was kind of the oldest one there, and he was kind of handling the other 2, just making sure that they were doing what they were supposed to do, and I helped them pick up pucks and whatnot, trying to get the ice clear just so that we could start cleaning the ice, and I saw him like without his helmet on or whatever, and I was just like, "Holy fuck, you look exactly like your brother!" Like the resemblance was insane.
All 3 of them, they all look so
they all looked alike, and it was just kind of I wasn't expecting it, and it was just kind of like So it was pretty cool. But he was super nice, and I was like, "Dude, what do we got to do to get your brother's show down here?" Because that was before it was on Hulu. Yeah. And he was like, "Man, I can't even get it." He's like, "I got a thumb drive, and I don't even know where that thing is." Like. He's like, yeah, if I can find it, I'll get it. I'll get some to you. And I was like, all right, cool.
I'm glad Hulu picked it up, man.
Yeah,
I
God.
forgot Jackson was here too.
Yeah,
actually, because he kind of went back and forth a couple times between Spokane and Tri-City.
He came here, and he was here for, I think it was a total of a year, like half of 1 year, half the other, and then he was traded back to Spokane. Yeah. So he went. He was with Spokane the whole time and ended with Spokane. So
yeah,
cool.
Interesting. So many storylines, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Beau, I appreciate your time, man. Hopefully, maybe we can do this again if anything pops before you're out of here for the summer. But,
I'd love to be back on.
Yeah.
For Kyle Houts, Corey's here in spirit, I guess.
Yep.
I'll just say, and end it with a Ferda.
Allegedly.
That was weak.